Good morning, Richard Eckley here. Happy Wednesday morning to you. Halfway through the week, another one as always flying by. We're on a Wednesday, on a Relationship Wednesday, on your 4 keys to a healthier, happier you. And today's question was, how are the sexes different? How are you different to your partner? And that's just a massive, massive area. I mean, we are, as I said, we are the same species, and quite often that's about where the similarity ends. Everything else is totally different between men and women. Our brains are wired differently, our thought process is different, the way we see things is different, our speech patterns are different, body language is different. Every single thing is different between the sexes, which is, it's crazy how we do get along so well, but maybe opposites attract, that's how it works. But they were saying before, I read a great book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. And that's a great book, gives you a different perspective on how the sexes are just totally different and how we sort of think differently and act differently. It's just our brain patterns. Women's brains have got much more connections and they have many more neuron connections in their brains, which enables them to do the multitasking because they have multi-wires, multi-connections. So they can multitask, doing different things at the same time, and everything just carries on normally. So they can cook, sort out the kids' homework, have a chat on the phone, and keep an eye on someone else doing something, and they're fine. With the bloke, we're much more singularly focused. If we tried that, we'd probably burn the tea, as I said before, and lose track of where the kids are gone and cock at the homework up. So it's just, we're good at doing one thing because we were focused on one thing. But multitasking we're not very good at because we haven't got all the connections. We went trained. It goes back to our history, through our ancestors, back to the beginning prehistory days when we were out just hunting gathering. So our main focus was to get out there, focus on a prey, get the food, kill it, gather it, bring it back. That was what we had to do, and then sit down and fire gaze and relax. Well, women were sort of watching other kids, bringing the kids up, protecting the campfires, scavenging around for berries, for foods, making social connections. They was doing all these other things, and that's how our brains have wired over millions, hundreds of thousands of years. That's how our brains have developed. So that's just one area, and it's still the same today. We don't suddenly change your brain wiring over a few decades or a few hundred years with new civilization. It takes thousands of years for evolution to change. With I've been before with the DNA switches, how our brains, our bodies change. With the DNA switches, we have a natural DNA, 50% from mum, 50% from dad. Then the DNA switches kick in. They can give us slight little traits which you can change over the millennia, and we develop different body parts, different things we can develop, and it's just amazing how things do change over the years and how we actually evolve. I've got off track here a bit now, but yeah, no, back to the differences of men and women. Just and as I said before, it's our thought in our eyesight. We sort of, women have more peripheral vision, so they can see more the whole area, because it goes back again to ancestors. They could look out, protect the campfire, and see what's going on, and make sure there's no danger around. Well, men have got tunnel vision. We sort of look straight ahead. Again, we were focused on the prey, and that's where our vision is staying. We're still the same to this day. Our focus, we're great at looking straight ahead, but if we're looking slightly, we can't get the peripheral vision not so clear, slightly blurred to the sides. Again, when it comes down to driving, I said before on that with anything on driving before, was men are great at driving at night time if it's raining, because we can see straight through like the rain on the window, and we can focus at night time. But women get more blurred vision because they're trying to take it all in. So there's the spots on the windscreen. If the light's coming at it, there's a lot more information going in. So then daytime women are better drivers because they can see the things to the side. They can see, there's a car going to pull out. There's a bus ahead over there. There's a child on the pavement. And the bloke's saying, well, yeah, that's fine. They know they're there, but not on my road, not in my straight line of sight. So that's how we're differently with our eyesights. Again, speech patterns are different again. Like sometimes we're at home. They've done research where women actually have more, they like to talk, they have more words, if you like, in their word bank than men do. So women tend to chat more. But again, it all goes back to our ancestors and how we grew up socialising, because women were mostly socialising. They were in the group socialising, make sure all the family was well. The families and friends were all okay and well. Men were out hunting, they had to be quiet and just focus on catching the prey, a few signals here and there, and catch the prey. So we're still all hardwired to how we were hundreds of thousands of years ago. We don't just change that. So we're still carrying it on today. Although we've got today's technology, today's life, our hard wiring is still back to our ancestors. So we're still in the same sort of, we still need to develop, we're still growing, we're still evolving. So our mindset is slowly changing. Our brain patterns are changing. We're evolving to, as I said, taller species and more brighter species. Our brains are evolving much more. We're doing much more. And the technology we're evolving is amazing as well. As I said before, it's weird how they say with the, I'm just jumping across here today, with the connection with, it said, like women's groups and men's groups, they get on so well as well nowadays with the clubs, just because we're in like-minded people, if you like. So you have a lot of women's clubs which are women only, and a lot quite of men's clubs that are men only nowadays, and that works out well because we're the same mindset, so we can talk about things and it makes total sense. Well, quite often we sort of mix them together. it's not quite so well, because he's thinking, what the hell's she on about? And she's chatting away to 3 or 4 people, and he's sort of, "Oh, just one conversation I can cope with. 3 or 4 is too many." So we have to have similar different areas where we're growing through, but it's realising we are wonderful together, but we're also wonderful apart. It's a good combination to think that, yes, as men and women, we do come together, we choose to be together, and it's wonderful to be together, but it's good to have your old friendships as well, which are your men or your women you want to be with, and that's just how you keep your social connections going, and it helps you come together as a couple, because you've got outside interests. You've got someone you can chat to who's on the same wave pattern as you, if you like. If you're a man, you can chat to another bloke and you just have a good chat. And if it's a woman, you can chat to a woman and they have a good chat. And then you can come together and still have interests with each other. But it's so important to realise we are the same species, but on most other areas we're totally differently wired. And it's just the way it is. And it's just not expecting our partner to be the same as us, because they're not. They're going to be totally different. Once again, I said before, they've had totally different life experiences growing up, for one thing, so their belief system is going to be totally different to ours. The wiring's different, so there's so many differences, and sometimes we expect our partner to know exactly what we're on about and what we're doing, but their mind is wired totally different to ours, so they're not going to be able to pick up on that. So we do need to give each other quite strong clues if you want something. There's the old thing, I've left a few like hints around that I want something, and quite often you just miss it and you won't see a thing. At least you tell him straight, and you go, oh, okay, I can get that then. But quite often hints and things don't really go in very, very far. You need to be, to a bloke, you need to be quite direct and let him know what it is you would like, and then he'll quite happily do it. But then quite often, if a woman sort of drops these hints and he doesn't pick up on the hints, and she gets a bit annoyed because she hasn't sorted out what she wanted, and he's thinking, well, you never told me what you wanted, so how am I supposed to know? But it's just funny how we do carry on together with the relationships, and just sometimes we don't understand what the other half's on about. Sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't, and we just miss it, and it's straight over our head. So sometimes you have to be a bit more direct with the bloke, and the woman does pick up on more of the small nuances of things like that going on. That's my little thought today on the differences between men and women, your partner, and it's quite amazing, the differences. So if you get a chance, have a read of the book. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It's quite enlightening, and you do get a different perspective on our other halves. So have a good day today, wherever you are. All the best for now.